Okay, in this video I'm going to talk about affiliate marketing mistakes and the kind of mistakes I see time and time again. And if we have time at the end of this video, I'll also cover list building mistakes. Okay, so let's get started. Let me just zoom into this so you can all see it okay. Okay, so the first mistake that most people make when they start doing affiliate marketing is not building a list. It's probably the biggest thing people have resistance to. I know certainly when I started, I didn't want to build a list, but it's the number one thing that stops people making, I would say, a full-time income online, and it's the sort of thing that takes people from being, from making a little bit of money here and there to kind of making us, a real kind of online income, if you like. It's so important because traffic sources do dry up. Your website might be ranking really well in Google today, but it might not be ranking in Google really well tomorrow. And this happens with all traffic sources, whether you're doing SEO, paid advertising. Like paid advertising sources can work really well for a while. Things change and then that traffic source may dry up. And it's the same with all traffic sources. So you don't want to be in a position where you're making really good money and then suddenly it stops overnight. This is very common with affiliate marketing. So if let's say, as an example, you've got your website ranked really well on the front page Google for, let's say, a fitness product, and you're making, let's just say, $50 to $100 a day promoting one product. That's fantastic. But let's just say, next month Google decides to change its algorithm, which they do all the time, and suddenly your website's not ranked on the front page Google anymore. It's on page 10, and suddenly you've gone from making $50 to $100 a day to making $0 to maybe $2 or $3 a day, or maybe making one $30 sale a week. And this is really a common problem. This can happen, and it can also happen with paid advertising as well. You can pay for an advertisement, a banner on someone's website. You could do AdWords, Google pay-per-click, and you've got your number one in Google, and then Google, for whatever reason, doesn't like your advert anymore and they ban your advertisement, or they decide that they don't like what you're doing, so instead of charging you 50 cents a click, they now charge you $10 a click because they don't like the fact that you're promoting affiliate products. And this did actually happen back in 2009 to most AdWords affiliates, people who were promoting clickbank products. This happened, and so what actually happens here is you kind of lose your business overnight because you're sending the traffic. The traffic might be going to your affiliate review website, as an example, but then you're sending the traffic straight on to let's say a marketer, to somebody who to the vendor, to the person who's selling the product. Whereas if you kind of position yourself as a middle person, somebody who is doing a really good review on the product, talking about the product, but also getting people to opt into your email list where they can find out more information, or maybe even opt into your email list to get the full insider review, or maybe opt into your email list to find out the shocking secret about this product. This can work really well. So so the good thing is here is you're building an email list of people who are interested in this product. So as soon as they've joined your email list, you can market that product to them more than once, again and again. But the point is, you've kind of like captured that traffic, and you can promote multiple products to those same people. And then in a year's time, let's say, or a month's time, if Google does decide that they don't want you on the front page of Google for that one product name, and your income suddenly dries up, it's not an issue because you've now got 2,000 people, 3,000 people on your email list, and guess what? You can market not just that one product, but you can market multiple products to that email list. And that's why I would say that's the biggest secret in internet marketing. It may not seem like a secret, but I say it's a secret because most people don't do it. So that's the biggest mistake people make in internet marketing and affiliate marketing in particular. The next thing is promoting bad products. This is a big mistake, particularly if you have an email list. I see people promoting products which they haven't even purchased or haven't seen before. Really big mistake. You want to be promoting quality products that you know are good, and that way you're going to gain trust from people. So not buying the product, that's another thing there. So again, if you have not bought the product yourself, it's very difficult to write a good, honest review about the product. So I would always recommend buying the product or trying to get hold of a free copy of the product, so at least you can see what you're talking about. And also, it's important that you're sending people to you're sending your customers to places where they're going to have a good buying experience. They're not going to get ripped off. They're going to buy a good quality product because you might be recommending other products to those people in the future. Okay, so the next thing is only using ClickBank. Now, a lot of people, they think it's the only affiliate network out there. There are loads of affiliate networks out there. ClickBank is just one affiliate network. So don't think ClickBank's the only game in town. There's JVZoo, there's Warrior Plus, there's all sorts of other affiliate networks out there. Just go searching for them. There's lots of affiliate networks out there. ClickBank is just sort of the best known one and probably has the most competition. So start having a look for other affiliate networks. The next thing is not promoting recurring income products. Now, recurring income products are a fantastic way to make huge amounts of money because the person buys the product once and you as an affiliate will get paid every single month for months and months and months. Sometimes recurring income products are billed annually, so I've promoted products in the past that you pay like $100 a year or $77 a year, and as an affiliate you get half of that. And then if you do 100 sales or something, and let's say you make $3,000 promoting a product, or $4,000 promoting a product, and you make that $4,000 today, in a year's time you may get another $1,500 just from those original people who purchased the product. If it's a monthly recurring, then you're going to get paid so you might make that one sale to start with, but then after month 2 and 3 you're going to carry on getting money through the door. So these don't necessarily have to be membership sites. So yes, you can promote membership sites, but recurring income products can be software products that have a monthly license fee or an annual license fee. It could even be something as simple as a mobile phone contract where people are paying every single month. There are affiliate schemes for those sort of products. So some products like mobile phone contracts, if you think about it, people don't usually cancel, so they're usually a member for a long time. So you can quite easily see how you could start getting recurring income from one sale. So you don't have to do very many sales of these recurring income products to start making a lot of money as an affiliate. So it can be very, very profitable. In fact, I know I've got friends who are in my mastermind group, and they as affiliates they specialize in just promoting recurring income products. So that's definitely something to think about. Obviously not everything I promote is a recurring income product, but I try to look for those products that have some sort of recurring element to them, because you can make good money. The second thing is, don't just look at the front end. See what the back end is. See what the one-time offers are. Sometimes when I promote a product, as an affiliate, you get a commission on all the things that the vendor sells them in the back end. So when you purchase a product, sometimes there's what's called a one-time offer, or sometimes the vendor may sell the customer other products in the back end. So for instance, once you've purchased the product, there may be an advertisement for another one of their products on the download page. You may receive an email a week later from the vendor talking about one of his other products. So sometimes you can make a lot more money from the back end as an affiliate than you do from the front end. So you need to find out what these people are selling in the back end. Are you getting paid for the back end? I always like to promote products that I get paid in the back end sales. So I don't usually like to promote products where I don't get a share of what's being sold in the background. So as an example, Lee McIntyre's products, I promoted those. I've actually made more money from what Lee sells in the back end than what I make on the front end. So that's really nice because you can sell a load of products, make a few $1,000s, and then you're getting, it's a bit like the recurring income thing. Those customers will buy lots of products from Lee over the course of a year maybe, and you just continue getting commissions on all those products. So promoting products where you're getting a share of what's being sold in the back end can be very, very, very profitable. And again, you don't have to refer many of these people to start making serious money as an affiliate. So like I said, I see people just looking at how much money they're going to make on, literally just from the first sale, when actually you should be looking at how much money you're going to make over the course of the whole lifetime of value of the customer. So look for one-time offers, look for back end, and see what commissions you're going to get there. Okay, so next thing we're going to talk about is list building mistakes. Like I said, having an email list, incredibly important. If you want to be successful in internet marketing, this is what you should be concentrating on, it's list building. And a lot of people do it very badly. I'm just going to run through this very quickly. I'm going to assume you've got some experience in list building, so I'm just going to go through what I see people doing wrong with list building. So the first thing a lot of people do wrong is they use a bad autoresponder. Now, when I say bad autoresponder, I don't mean that the user interface is bad or anything like that. What I'm talking about is email deliverability. It's getting harder and harder to get emails delivered because of spam. A lot of emails that you send out will be marked as spam. But if you're using a cheap autoresponder or a bad autoresponder, what can happen is you send an email out to your customers, and 99% of them will end up in the spam folder of your customers. Your customers will never even see the email. So it's really important to be with a reputable company. This is not, you don't want to be saving money on your autoresponder company. You don't want to be using the cheapest company. You want to be using one of the kind of like really well-known autoresponders, because the big companies have been kind of like whitelisted by all of the big email companies. So people like GetResponse, Aweber, One Shopping Cart, these kind of big companies that you've heard of, they've all been kind of like approved by people like Gmail and Yahoo and these types of people for sending emails out, so they don't end up in the spam folder. So it's really important to go with one of these big companies. I would recommend you either go with Aweber or GetResponse if you're starting out, because I've used both and I know that their deliverability is really good. The other thing to note is if you start off with a cheap autoresponder, someone like one of these cheaper companies, and you end up with a couple of thousand people on your list and the emails aren't getting delivered, and you think, okay, well, I'll move to a better company, you can't move your email list. So you're kind of locked in with these autoresponder companies, and you can never really move your email list, because a lot of these companies won't allow you to simply just turn up and upload 10,000 email addresses to their autoresponder, because they don't know if you could have just bought that email list on eBay or something, or you could be a spammer. So they have very, very strict rules, so you can't move to a different autoresponder account, or it's just incredibly difficult to do it. So it's important to start from day one with a very big reputable company, and also not a company that's going to go out of business. I mean, when I first started, I had this problem. I used a small autoresponder company, had all sorts of problems, couldn't move my list, and actually the company I was with ended up even going out of business. They were a UK company. So I've been through all of this, I know the problems. Start off with a good autoresponder, it's really important. Okay, so the next thing is buying a list. I see this a lot. I talk to a lot of internet marketers, and I know a lot of very, very successful marketers and people you may have heard of online, and a lot of them started off trying to buy a list, and I did it as well, and it just doesn't work. Buying email lists is a bad idea. It's kind of borderlining on spam, I would say. But the biggest point is, if you buy a list of 20,000 people from some company, some black hat people, or even from a reputable source, you're not going to make sales from that list, because those people on that email list don't know you. They don't know why they're receiving the email, and the response rate is it's not worth doing. You will not make money if you buy an email list, so don't do it. Okay, the next thing is co-reg lists. This is where you can, if you sign up to someone's email list, sometimes a little thing will come up saying you can also subscribe to these other newsletters, and you can check a box underneath. This is something that corporates quite often do. So that's another way of building a list. I've tried it in 2 or 3 different ways. Definitely doesn't work as well. This is a strategy that I've tried extensively, and although yes, you can build a list with it, the list is very, very, very unresponsive, so it's not really worth the money or the time. GetResponse actually offer this as a service. You can actually buy leads from GetResponse as an example, and they're co-reg leads, and it's a complete waste of time because they're very, very unresponsive. They don't really reply to emails. So they don't click on links in emails, they don't even open emails. So don't do co-reg leads. Definitely not recommend that. Okay, so the other thing I see quite a lot, believe it or not, is people not selling, and the second point here, not communicating with their list. So I know several people at the London Lunch and the London Meetup who I speak to, and they're saying, oh yes, I've built a list of 10,000 people, from however they did it. I'm not sure how they did it, or they sold loads of products, and they just added these people to their list, but they didn't know what to do. So they just ended up with this huge list of people, and they have never even sent one email out to them. And like I was talking to one person last year, and she was creating a product, and she said, well, I've got a list of like 5,000 people, which I've been building over the last 3 months, and my product's going to be ready in 3 months' time, so that's 6 months in total, and then I'm going to sell it to my list. And I said, well, how often are you communicating with your list? She said, oh, I've never sent any emails out to them. Well, if you have a list of 10,000 people, and you never communicate with them, and then suddenly 3 months down the line or 6 months down the line you send an email out to them, they won't know who you are. They'll think it's spam, and they'll probably mark the emails as spam, and they'll probably just delete the emails. And the list will be very similar to a co-reg list, or similar to a list that you would buy. It's the same sort of principle. These people won't know you, they won't know who you are. So if you have a list, it's very important to communicate with them at least once a week. And you need to sell to your list at least, I would say once every 2 weeks. You need to be selling something or recommending a product. You shouldn't just be sending out free information. You should also be selling products to your list. I was at a networking meeting over the weekend, and I was talking to a couple of people in email marketing who had done surveys, and they found out that email lists that were constantly sent out promotional offers did better than email lists where very, very few offers were made. So believe it or not, the more you sell to your list, the more responsive your list gets. I mean, I'm not saying you should send out offers every day, because that's definitely what you don't want to be doing. But if you send let's say an offer out to your email list once a week, your list will be more responsive than if you only sent an offer out to your list once a month. And when I mean responsive, I mean actually buying the product. So important to communicate with your list. It's important to send an offer out to your list, I would say at least once every couple of weeks. That can be for your own product, it could be for an affiliate product. It's important to get your list into like a buying mentality. Okay. The other thing I see people do is selling every day. You've probably been on email lists where they never send any good free content out, and these people are just sending out offer after offer after offer every single day, and they're just like those template emails. You get like the same email from 10 people, so you shouldn't be doing that. I don't do that. You want to be offering good free content. So like today, I've sent this video about this. I've sent this video to my list, which you're watching right now. This is good free content. Create good free content, or send an email out to your list directing people to good free content that you found on the internet. So you might have found a really cool video on YouTube. You could send an email out to your list saying, hey, I've just found this really good video on YouTube about X, Y, and Z, go and check it out. that's good free content. Okay, so really important. Okay, so the other thing I see people doing wrong is when they're selling products. When you sell a product online, it's very important to build what's called a buyer email list. So the people who have purchased products are going to be super responsive because they've just bought something from you if you've just sold one of your own products. So really those people should be on your email list. So you should be using a script that automatically opts people into your email list after they've purchased a product. You don't want to be putting an opt-in form on your download page or anything like that. You should be using a script which automatically opts people into your email list as soon as someone purchases a product. You can do this automatically if you're using JVZoo. You can do this automatically if you're doing using Warrior Plus. Most shopping cart systems will do this. So that's really important to make sure you're doing that. And the final thing I'm just going to talk about very quickly before I wrap up this video is not selling anything on your thank you page. And this is a really big thing. So when you join an email list and you put your name and email in and you click the submit button, there's like the page refreshes and there's a page there. Now that page is really valuable real estate. Don't give your download link to your free product on that page. That page should be containing some sort of free offer. Think about this for a second. Somebody has just put their name and email address in so to get something for free. So they obviously trust you. That person is obviously seriously interested in that niche at that moment in time. So as soon as someone opts into your email list and that page refreshes, the thank you page, you should have a message at the top saying, thank you very much for signing up. Your free gift will be emailed to you in about 10 minutes time. Meanwhile, have a look at this offer, or I've got some amazing offer for you. And then you have what's called a one-time offer on the thank you page. So that could be an affiliate offer, it could be your own products, you could be just literally directing somebody to another sales page. But the point is that a certain percentage of people will purchase from that page. So it's very important to sell on your thank you page. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this video now. Hope you found this useful. What I'd like you to do next is click on the like video below this video if you actually found it useful, and also I'd love to hear some comments from you, your feedback, and if you've got any questions about any of this, please put your questions below the video.